Good afternoon. I wanted to show off another project idea that I had with using the microbit. And so here I have a microbit attached to my arm. And I'm also doing this 10,000 push-up challenge run by Teachers on Fire. And so I thought that I could try to put, a passion of mine with a challenge of mine and see if I can create something with that. And so here I've let's put it into action, and I can jump through some of the project for you. All right, so that's about 10, I think. According to this, yeah, it's 10. Oh, now it's keep counting. So, as you can see on the microbit, it's basing the counting on the I'm out of shape. I need to get some more push-ups. It's basing it on the X acceleration, and so we'll jump over to the computer and we'll have a look at the code, and then hopefully that will help you out. All right.
We're now back onto the computer, and we're going to go check out the code for this particular project. All right, so we'll just zoom in here, and we'll start off at the beginning. So on start, we're going to use the built-in speaker. I'm using version 2 of the microbit, so it helps out with that not needing to have additional cables in there in terms of the design of the arm band. And then we're using two variables in this case. So one is counting the push-ups, and the other is a state machine, which I'll talk about more in a few minutes. And then just because I don't want it to start right away, I'm going to start it off. I started it off in state number 2. And so when you're ready to count your push-ups, you're all situated, you're comfortable, then you can press on button A. It'll wait 2 seconds for you to get your final position, and then it will start in state 0. So what is it, state 0? Well, state 0, if we look here, this is in our forever block. So this is the only other block of code that we're using. And in our forever block here, we are using sort of these two state machines. So we got a state machine with two states. So state 0 and state 1. So state 0, if the microbit gets into state 0, which it is at the very beginning, it will be waiting until the x acceleration, or the magnitude of the acceleration in the x direction, is greater than negative 100. And then when it does that, that's when you're sort of at your bottom of your push-up. So it's sort of waiting and waiting. You start at the top and you sort of let yourself go down due to gravity. And then when you hear the giggle, that's when you know, okay, I'm at the bottom. It's going to count my push-up by 1. It's going to change the state to 1. So now, if you're sort of resting down at the bottom, it doesn't keep counting and sort of goes back up. It goes to state number 1. And state number 1 is then you waiting until you go all the way up. So you have to push yourself all the way up until a certain state again. And so until your magnitude of the acceleration, or not the magnitude, sorry, the value of the acceleration in the x direction is greater than negative 800. And so we have now our state goes back over to 0. And then at the bottom here, we have our push-ups. So we were displaying our push-ups the whole time. And then the final thing, for some troubleshooting, what I was doing is doing a serial write value of the X direction. And so I've just plugged in my microbit that I was using, and if I click this show console, it'll give me a reading of what it would look like. So it's sort of, if I take my microbit and it's sort of flat on my desk, this is the sort of reading that I would get. But now if I was to simulate that it's on my on my upper arm, on the back of my bicep, then it would be sort of on my left side. Then the button B would be tilted up, and so this is what we would sort of look like. And then if I go back down, sort of flat, and so you can see how if I go back and forth, just simulating doing some push-ups, this is sort of the values that I'm getting. So at the very flat, I'm getting around negative 92, and then 40. So there's some below negative 100. And then if I go up above, I'm sort of getting above 800. And so there's still, like, depending on your situation, you might want to experiment with those. Maybe you can run a series of experiments, do 10 push-ups, look at the values that you get, take an average, and then use that within your code. I sort of did that, but it still needs a little bit of work on it. I know that it's not perfect, but it's a nice project. So again, thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, please feel free to reach out. And happy coding. Bye for now.